Welcome to the Northwest Catholic Counseling Center's Growing Hope event. I'm Erin Peters, the Executive Director at the Northwest Catholic Counseling Center, and I'm so pleased to be hosting this event, kicking off May, which is Mental Health Month. Each May, mental health organizations from across the country band together to spread awareness about mental health and reduce the stigma around accessing services. NCC is proud to participate in this initiative. Stay tuned to the end to learn how you can get involved. You know, the name of this event really says it all, Growing Hope. As the flowers and trees put on their springtime colors outside our windows, growing up towards the sun, we are doing the same for our community. We are growing hope for those who are struggling with mental health issues, but without the resources to access help. So many are ready to bloom into beautiful glory, and we're going to help them tonight by supporting access to mental health in our community for anyone in need, regardless of their financial situation. That is a key part of the Northwest Catholic Counseling Center's mission. Everyone is welcome and deserving of quality mental health care, and no one is turned away because of a lack of insurance or an inability to pay. Your generous donations help make that mission a reality, as does sponsorship of our events. So I want to start by giving a big thanks to our sponsors this evening, Christine Tracy, Tom and Marilyn Fink, and the Sisters of Providence. They help make sure everyone in our community who needs mental health can get it. They're fabulous. And when I think of our community, I usually think of togetherness. Events like this usually bring us together to connect and celebrate in person. I know we won't have that in quite the same way tonight. Yet another way in which the COVID-19 pandemic has really impacted all of our lives. But we're together in spirit and in giving, and those are the ways that really, truly count. There is one benefit to holding a virtual event like this, and that is I can welcome people from far away to join us. So let's get started this evening, and I can welcome Sister Sarah Deeby, one of the center's co-founders. Sister Sarah?
Hello, everyone. Greetings from Omaha. As one of the co-founders of the Northwest Catholic Counseling Center, I extend a warm welcome to each of you. Thank you for joining us today. With winter behind us, we are surrounded with signs of hope. The beauties of nature give us a glimpse of the hope for a more beautiful days ahead. Like the signs of nature, your presence and your support of the mission of the Northwest Catholic Counseling Center grows hope in the lives of those whose struggles have been compounded by the pandemic. Our neighbors, our brothers and sisters who have experienced loss of family, employment, and security, as well as children who have experienced isolation, have turned to the Northwest Catholic Counseling Center for support. Because of your generosity, no one is turned away. We thank you for that. Without you, our mission would be impossible. And now, let us pause and ask God's blessing on this event, on the work of the center, and all those gathered. Amen.
Thank you so much, Sister Sarah. I know I speak for everyone here in Portland when we say that we miss Sister Sarah and her partner in crime, Sister Barbara Kennedy, so much. They are doing such important work in Omaha at the Servants of Mary Mother House, but that doesn't make us miss them any less here in Portland. You can actually say hi to Sister Sarah, Sister Barbara, or Sister Lisa Sheridan, who's also in Omaha tonight, yourself by putting something in the chat. It's right on the screen there, to your right. Please give a shout out to the sisters or any of your fellow attendees, or maybe you'd like to say something about the center. Whatever it is, we would love to hear from you tonight. We also encourage anyone who is active on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to share photos of how you're celebrating the event by including our hashtag, GH2021. That's GH2021. Be sure you tag the Northwest Catholic Counseling Center. You can share your photos at any time throughout the event, But now would also be a great time to follow NCC on social media if you haven't already done that. Simply go to Facebook and type in at the Northwest Catholic Counseling, or on Twitter, our handle is at NCC.org, or on Instagram, it's at 1986. That's the year of our founding. Seeing that date and Sister Sarah there in Omaha makes me think back on the last 35 years that the Northwest Catholic Counseling Center has been providing care to everyone, regardless of faith or finances. When the sisters started out in borrowed rooms with hardly any money or resources 35 years ago, I don't think they could have imagined how NCC would grow, now providing counseling and workshops to more than 1,000 people every year, with a staff of 12 dedicated and passionate therapists. They certainly couldn't have imagined what this last year was like. None of us could have done that. I want to tell you a little bit about the amazing efforts our staff have gone to over the last year to make sure that no one lost access to mental health care during the pandemic. As the stay-at-home order came into place last April, 100% of our operations pivoted to remote. For a frenetic 2 weeks, our staff converted all of our work to remote. And that meant that all the therapy was done either by phone or over secure video, plus all the billing, the reminders, all of that. Staff scrambled to collect or purchase enough cameras so that anyone who wanted video therapy could have access to our therapists. Many generous donors gave equipment or money so we could have tools in place to help clients with anxiety, depression, grief, and the enormous stress and disorientation the pandemic has created. We've done fundraisers like this in new ways that we never could have imagined. As a result, NCC didn't miss a single day of providing care. I can't tell you how honored and proud I am of the work of our staff, our board of directors, and our supporters during these difficult months. I know you haven't been able to come to the office to see us hard at work during the pandemic, so let's take a little tour and let me give you a chance to say hi to our staff. Our staff are rocking some fashionable masks in our office. I've even been making mine to match my outfits, like this one. That's just one of the many ways that we're keeping staff safe. We use masks, social distancing, and frequent sanitizing. And we've started to bring a few clients back to the office, primarily kids, people at risk of suicide, and people struggling with domestic violence. These are some of the places where phone or video therapy can sometimes be really tough. Over the next few months, as it becomes safe to do so, we will welcome many more clients back in person. So many clients and therapists cannot wait for that. At the same time, teletherapy is here to stay, and we're going to keep it as an important tool in our toolbox, allowing even more people in need, like those with transportation or mobility issues, to access mental health care. To hear a little more about that and about how our amazing counselors have been helping clients over the last year, I want to introduce you to two of our therapists, Jeremy and Michelle.
So my name is Jeremy Richardson. I'm one of the therapists here at NCC. I hold an LPC license and I've been here just over a year and a half.
Hello, Jeremy. It's nice to see you in person.
Yes.
My name is Michelle Sidoroff, and I'm an LPC here at NCC, and this month I've been here 2 years.
Congratulations. What are the struggles that you see that were kind of before COVID, the pre-COVID time, and then the during COVID? What's that experience been like for you?
When the pandemic hit, it hit a different level. I think the intensity went up. I saw a resurgence more with PTSD, just with the triggers of powerlessness. Quarantine can sometimes isolate a lot of people, like you said. And so it just resurfaced old trauma that might not have been dealt with, or it was dealt with, but it was just super triggering again. And then so I've seen clients where their trauma has upped another level, or new clients that come in and they're coming with PTSD symptoms. And so that's what I see. And then the other part I think is a significant change is the grief, the loss of loved ones through death, loss of the world we knew, loss of everyday activities that not that we took for granted, but like you have this idea that it's going to be there, and then that whole core of support got stripped overnight, and that made healing hard, because like with trauma, you can't heal in the environment where you're experiencing trauma. And we're still actively in the pandemic, and what I'm seeing now is the recovery and healing's not happening in the same pace as we would have seen before. And we're not completely out of it now, and so like this is where mental health care is so still very much important, and still seeing the devastating impacts. How come mental health is important? How come it's valuable?
Don't let fear stand in your way, right? Don't worry about what people think of you, because we as therapists, I as a therapist, I'll speak for myself, I'm not going to see you as weak for accessing services. Like I think it's great when people do, right? And it's a show of like strength to be able to say like, I can't do this on my own, or I've been doing it on my own too long and I'm tired. I need some different ways to do things. Because things won't change unless you change, right? Things are not going to get better unless you take steps to get them to get better. And one of those steps can be seeking help to get them better.
This is a time to get the support while you can. Like if you notice like changes in sleep, anxiety levels, depression levels, trauma resurfacing, grief, that this is a place where you don't have to do it alone. And like I said, like we will meet you where you're at, and it doesn't have to be going into detail on things. It's going to move at a pace that fits what you need, because we honor client-centered care.
Yeah, absolutely. In our shift to teletherapy, right? When the pandemic hit, we had to shift to, we couldn't do in-person stuff anymore. What was that like for you and kind of for your clients? What was that like for you?
I would say the initial shift was very stressful. I think everyone kind of hit fatigue walls. It was overwhelming. It didn't feel the same. And at first most counselors are in person. So like not knowing what teletherapy would look like, I think was new. And also we were in a crisis at the same time. But I found over time it's been more normalized, which is good. Clients that were struggling to show up due to different barriers, some were more engaged in therapy, so they were getting more care, which was awesome. And then for others, it still hasn't felt the same, so it's kind of like more grief continuing.
Yeah.
What about you? What is your experience,
Yeah,
Jeremy?
I would say similarly. Like it was something we had to do. None of us were raring to go to teletherapy if we didn't have to. And yeah, like even as you said it, like that it was a grief we had to kind of go through of like, oh, I'm losing this in-person thing that I really like, sitting with people, and having to kind of do it on the fly, right? I wasn't super trained in how to do this, so figuring out how do I do teletherapy? What are the barriers to that? How do I navigate technology and privacy and all these things?
The constant need to adapt, especially with all the stress.
Yeah.
And pandemic's been ongoing stress. So I would love to hear, how have you coped through all the stressors we've been through during this pandemic?
Yeah, I think some of it has been, it's revealed to me my need to be intentional, right? I have to be really intentional about my coping strategies. So some of that has looked like trying to spend some time outside, whether it's bad weather, good weather, whatever it is. I need to get outside and away from screens for a chunk of time. 15, 20 minutes at the very least. Cognizant about what sort of media am I consuming when I'm off, right? What are the things I'm watching for entertainment? How much news and from where am I getting it? Trying to limit my social media exposure, and being very intentional about connecting with people, whether that's family, friends, like trying to reach out and make those connections. That's what's been the most helpful for me. What about you? How have you coped in this time?
music has been essential for me. It's kind of like I create my creativity in creating my soundtrack for the season. So like I'll have my own playlist going to kind of also keep my mind off things, because sometimes as a therapist, even though we try to have our boundaries, it still comes home and literally we're working at home part of the time. So music kind of helps me reset. And I think the last bit I would say is like validating. Like when there's a rough day, I just call it like it's a rough day. Because I think sometimes, especially when we're providing care, we want to silver line it. Oh, let's be stronger, let's move.
Strengths-based.
Yes.
Strengths-based, yeah.
And that still exists, but also just allowing and accepting that some days are harder kind of helps me adapt. Just be like, okay, I'm not going to sweep today. I'm going to do something else. And so being able to be flexible with understanding that the body will let me know what it needs, and I just need to honor it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What makes NCC like, what makes it great? What makes it good to work here?
When you start at a new job or a new place, you do take a leap of faith, kind of like I mentioned earlier. And heart, hope, and healing are core values. To me, NCC does it in action. Like, as therapists and as a whole team of staff, we really, at the heart of us, want to be a compassionate, caring support tool for our community. And I think just to be in a place where I trust that and I know it exists makes where I would trust having clients come to us. I would trust my other therapists to like refer. And I think that's important as a therapist, to be able to have that grounding while we have to do this type of work.
Yeah, there's no extra burdens working here. Like, we don't have to worry about other things. We can just, focus on what we need to do, which is, great and kind of rare, unfortunately.
Yes. And I would just say, like, we have therapists that really do genuinely care. They're aware of trauma. They're aware of how the impact of the pandemic has changed therapy. And so I would want clients to know that when they come to us, they are coming to people that will meet them where they're at and then work with them to where they want to go.
Michelle and Jeremy are so dedicated to our clients. All of our therapists are, and they have worked so hard over this last year to give people struggling with mental health issues the help they so desperately need. That hope and stability that Michelle referenced has often been hard to come by over the last year. With the pandemic, so many people have needed mental health care, while the lack of access has grown even greater. Right now, NCC has nearly a 6-week waiting list. That's 6 weeks someone desperate for help has to wait because we just don't have enough therapists to cover the need. I don't know a single person who hasn't struggled over the last year, including myself. But for some, the impact of the pandemic and its lingering effects has been particularly heavy. Some have lost jobs or seen savings or health insurance vanish. Others have had friends or relatives die with the usual comfort we have in grief, bringing friendly family and friends around us. That's swept away and not available. And the social unrest of the last year has shown us the many, many layers of trauma that we or our neighbors live with on a daily basis. You can see the impact of the pandemic and the overwhelming need for mental health care in the numbers. In 2020, almost 1.5 million people tried to take their own life. That is a staggering number. It's like if every single person living in all of Seattle and all of Portland all attempted suicide last year. And tragically, far too many of those attempts ended in unimaginable loss to family and friends. 132 Americans die each day of suicide. There's also been a significant increase in substance use as people try to cope with the stress and uncertainty of the pandemic. 100,000 people are dying each year of overdose, and millions more are battling active addictions. And sadly, the wreckage of addiction doesn't just affect the person who's fighting it. Marriages, families, and relationships can be destroyed. The effects of the pandemic on younger people are particularly stark. 56% of young adults say they have been significantly depressed or anxious in the last year. That is more than half of every young adult in the United States, almost half of everyone. If you have young people in your life, you've probably seen this firsthand. And of course, young people aren't alone. Even in the rest of the adult population, 41% of people say they've struggled with depression or anxiety over the last year. If you are one of them, don't wait to get help. There is no need to suffer alone. Remember what our counselor Jeremy Richardson said: don't let fear or what someone else might think stand in the way of getting help. If you are struggling or someone you know is struggling, the Northwest Catholic Counseling Center is here to help you. You can find loads of mental health resources on our website and our social media channels too. And you can always call us. And like so many things in the pandemic, people of color have felt the weight more heavily. Latinx adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety or depression than non-Hispanic white adults are. And historically, communities of color have had a much, much harder time accessing mental health care at all. Fortunately, the Northwest Catholic Counseling Center recently started a program to provide culturally and linguistically tailored care to the Latinx community. The Levantar program, which in Spanish means to rise up, is not much more than a year old, but already has 3 amazing counselors working on it and has helped dozens of people. It's doing tremendous work at NCC, and it's an important mental health tool that we have. You know, it's so important in mental health to have a counselor who understands your lived experience, and we all can relate our traumatic experiences best in our native language. Levantar is a tremendously powerful and effective program that your donation helps support, because NCC serves any in the Latinx community regardless of ability to pay. That's just one example of the huge variety of people who can get mental health care at the Northwest Catholic Counseling Center, no matter what their financial or personal circumstances. I feel honored to bring you 2 of those people right now.
My name is Tia Sherry, and what brought me to the Northwest Catholic Counseling Center was I needed help. At the time, I was in a very stressful marriage that was looking like it was going to end. And, you know, I thought with my life experiences and the lessons that I've learned through the mistakes I've made along the way, and the research that I had done, I thought that I had everything I needed to figure out like what a successful marriage was going to be, and I didn't have it.
My name is Karen Taylor, and I started coming, my mom lived with us and had been for quite some time, and just the fact of another person in my house, privacy, guilt.
You know, I had never been in counseling before. This was my first step into counseling, so I was really afraid. I was nervous about the idea of revealing, you know, some painful things in my life and feelings that I was having. So I was very nervous about that. I was obviously nervous about being judged, that I didn't know what I was doing.
My son had a drinking problem and decided to go off one day and see how far and how fast he could drive. Anyways, he was in an accident and he died from the injuries of that accident. And I thought I was able to work through most of that, but his wife was also an issue. And so I came back to talk to Alan and get some help with that.
You know, I put off counseling because I had all of these unknowns. I didn't know what, I mean, there was just so much to process. And all it took was a phone call and assurance on the other side that says that we'll figure it out together. And I had never heard of a sliding scale that was available for counseling, which was, you know, I was completely overjoyed and relieved. And getting together with my counselor was not what I had expected. Sure, it was difficult initially to let go and to shed, you know, the layers and the protection that I had over myself really all of my life. But, you know, like coming into this room and having a sense that this space was safe and that there was no judgment, no bias, and just that there was a friendly person that was skilled sitting directly across from me, letting me know that it's going to be okay.
Well, since we lost our son, it seems like there's been a series of people that we know. There's 5 ladies at the church where we go within those 5 years have lost a child, an adult child.
I could pay what I wanted when I wanted, and there was no judgment, you know, as I journeyed through that financial piece of, you know, trying to figure everything else out in my life. So that is very special to me to have that in place, not just for myself, but also for other people that are seeking mental health services. The tools I've learned along the way include just acknowledging that it's okay to feel the way you feel. And especially now during this time when it's so anxiety producing and stressful, just being able to name that, okay, I am feeling anxious right now, or I'm feeling afraid.
I can change the things that I can change, and there's some things I can't change. I couldn't change my son's drinking. That was his decision, and if I tried to get him to counseling, tried to get him help, that was all I could do. So I had to make my changes.
It's just a very supportive place with no judgment, no bias, and it's a place that just, to me, symbolizes a place to start to heal.
I have come to firmly believe in counseling and getting the help.
The stigma is real and it's out there, and I wish it wasn't, and I wish people would just allow themselves to get the help that's available to them, like immediately.
I remember telling my sister some time back, but you can't afford not to. And especially when there's drugs or alcohol or abuse involved, you can't afford not to get help.
What I didn't realize was the gift that counseling is, that it's available to so many people, but that it really is a gift to myself, and that it's okay that I give myself something, and that I actually appreciate something, that I put myself first.
Thank you, Tia and Karen, for so generously sharing your stories and experience with us. Tia, Karen, and all the people getting help at the Northwest Catholic Counseling Center, regardless of their financial circumstances, they are the reason we do what we do. So I'm so grateful to welcome Anne-Louise Sterry to help me out tonight. Anne-Louise, it's nice to see you.
Oh, hello, Erin.
And just to assure everyone, we've both been vaccinated, so we are standing closer than 6 feet. It's so nice to see you.
Tucking hands.
I know,
It's
I know.
Good to be here.
Anne-Louise knows firsthand all about what you can do to make a difference to people like Tia and Karen. Anne-Louise, tell us a little bit about your experience. You've been involved with NCC in a number of ways.
Oh, yes. Well, the first way is as a client, and that was, I want to say, I hate to even think about this, but like almost 25 years ago. And I would tell you that the counseling center and Sister Barbara, they saved our marriage. I mean, there's no other way to say that. And for that, I am so grateful that I just did whatever I could. I was involved in fundraising way back when we were doing it in all kinds of hard ways, when we had to do the dishes and do all the work and everything. And then I volunteered at all the things that I could volunteer at. And I sent everybody I knew to the counseling center. One year I told Sister Barbara that my friends and family were supporting the center because there were so many of them. And I just want to also say this scarf that I wore today for 2 reasons. One, to be glamorous and match Erin. And 2, because my mom, who died during COVID back in Rhode Island, gave me this scarf. And she was a supporter of the counseling center too. She, who did not like counseling, went to see Sister Barbara, and she supported the center through all kinds of fundraising things. So,
And I remember getting donations from her back on from the East Coast.
Yes,
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Well, so let's get started with that because that's one of the reasons we're here tonight. This is the time when you get to provide mental health care for people in need. Okay, so we have a goal tonight, Ann Louise, of $50,000. dollars Every dollar we raise here goes straight to providing therapy to people accessing NCC's sliding scale.
and it's so easy to give. Here's what you can do. You can simply text Growing Hope to 44321. That's Growing Hope, all one word, no caps necessary, no spaces, to 44321. You'll receive a text back with a secure link to complete your donation. Or if you'd like to click that donate button, it's right above us.
There it is.
Somewhere there. Oh, we have a volunteer taking donations over the phone, just like the OPB, sort of fundraising things. Just call 503-522-5745, and we'll take care of the rest. And again, that's 503-522-5745.
So we have some great matches tonight that we're going to talk about.
Okay.
But we're going to get things started in a big way, Ann Louise, because a big gift is going to kick us off. Deb Habel and Bruce Gulliver are blazing the trail tonight with a $10,000 gift.
Oh,
Isn't that
yay,
great?
that's amazing.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
are really grateful for both Deb and Bruce. They are very committed to mental health in our community, have been longtime supporters. They're just fabulous, and they aren't alone. We've had some amazing gifts coming in over the last day or so before the event, and I'll be highlighting those contributions tonight.
Now, there's a slight delay in receiving some of the data from you, but we promise we'll do our best in announcing each and every gift at every level. If we haven't mentioned your name, please let us know in the chat box so we can make sure you get some love. And it's so fun to watch everybody's names popping up and their donations.
You betcha. So let's get started at the $2,500 level. That's where we're going to start tonight.
Okay.
So $2,500 will get 17 new clients into therapy. I mean, think about the life-changing effect that is, 17 new clients.
Yes.
And actually, we also want to call out some of our supporters that gave earlier to the event tonight. Tom Welch and James Smith gave $500, as did Robert and Cheryl Supke at $500.
Yeah.
And let's see, who else has given? Oh, look, and Liz Lacuye gave $512. She used to be our psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner.
Wow.
So she has recently moved to Bend, but has been a longtime supporter. Ann Louise, look
look,
at
there's
you.
my name
You
right
gave
up there.
too.
I just gave so I could
was
get my
waiting.
name on the board.
Yeah. So we're going to leave that $2,500. Oh, wait. Ken and Debbie Willett just called in $2,500.
Oh my goodness, so excited.
Ken
So
is a
excited.
member of our board of directors, and Debbie has been a long-time volunteer. She, in fact, was working in our med management program when we had it.
my goodness.
They are such great supporters. We
Oh
are
my
so
gosh.
appreciative. Thank you both
Yes.
so much for this gift tonight.
Yes.
So let's go next to the $1,000
Okay.
level.
All right.
We've got a great match for this level.
Okay.
So for the Tom and Marilyn
Yeah.
Fink are going to donate $1,000 for up to $4,000 for the next 4 gifts. So basically, they're matching up to $4,000, $1,000 gifts. So we're going to start right now with those.
So you mean if I gave 1,000, my husband would have a nervous breakdown, but if I gave 1,000, they would give 1,000 to match, so it'd be 2,000.
That is exactly right.
I
That's
love
what's
it.
going to happen.
I love it.
So let's get started with that. Go
Okay.
ahead and put those gifts in there. And then, I can see a couple have called in.
Yeah.
So it looks like, this is so great. So Janine McInich just gave $1,000. She she works at Becker Capital Management, and they also gave $1,000.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and actually, they did it in honor of the hardworking staff at NCC.
Oh.
That is just great.
So do we already have?
We already have $2,000. Oh, and then Tom and Gail Kingsley just gave $1,000. Some of these aren't appearing over here because they came in before we started with the giving. So we're just adding them in right now. Oh, and then, look, we've met our match. Rick Murray just gave $1,000.
Oh my
He's on
gosh.
our board of directors.
gosh.
So we've already met our match.
So,
For
now,
that,
look at, we got
confetti.
Confetti.
Yay.
But let me ask you a question. Supposing now we met our match, but somebody still wants to give $1,000.
Oh, you betcha. We'll take it.
Good.
We're
Okay.
always...
Just wanted to clarify.
We're always happy to take that. And we've got another match coming up. up at
Yes.
the $250 level. So
okay.
stay tuned for that.
Okay.
So now we're going to move to the $500 level.
Okay.
So now you can give at $500.
okay.
And actually, one of the things we can talk about a little bit here at the $500 level is if you want to give monthly. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I do, because I give monthly. So there's a program here. If you want to give your money every month, it doesn't feel so onerous if you're kind of worried about your money a little bit to give every month. And it's a program called Faithful Friends. So if your donation over the course of a year adds up to one of our levels, like you could get up to that $1,000 level.
You bet.
And I don't know how much that is a month, but not so much. It will be matched. So it's a great way to support the center and pretty painless. It's called Faithful Friends.
Yep,
Let me say that again.
That's how it works. It's the
Yep.
Faithful Friends program.
Yep.
You can find the monthly option on the screen when you click that donate button right above us. The donate, wherever the donate button is, it's up there. There's a one-time option or a monthly option.
Yeah.
So just click monthly to begin your ongoing donation tonight. That monthly option is also available when you text Growing Hope to, what's the number?
244321.
When you use the secure link, you can choose your donation level and then click monthly at the bottom of the page. So easy.
And also, you can call our volunteer. If you call 503-522-5745. Our volunteer is standing by. He's an amazing volunteer, and he'll set you up with a monthly donation.
Yeah, that's great. Thank
that
you so
great?
much. So now we're at the $500 level. Oh, Shirley Price just gave $150. She's
Wow.
one of our staff members. Now, $500 provides a full month of mental health counseling to someone in need.
Wow.
You know, and Louise, we've had a lot of couples coming in this year as the pandemic has worn on.
Yeah.
The stress of being together 24/7, providing schooling to
Yes.
kids while still holding a job, the constant worrying of falling farther and farther behind on rent. It's really taken its toll on couples this last year. So this support can really help to work with the couples who are navigating this pandemic. Oh, it looks like Glenn and Monet Rubin called in a $500 gift. Joanne Paxson donated $500. It looks like Mary Tobin, who's a fabulous board member, put in $500. That is just great. And then Tom Welch and James Smith, $500. And Robert and Cheryl Sopke, $500.
Oh,
that
my
is
goodness.
fabulous.
And you can upgrade your Faithful Friends gift.
Yeah.
You can just call the office tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And upgrade.
So if you give like $25 a month and you want to do $30 a month, you can go ahead and do that. That's the way it works.
And by the way, it doesn't have to be a $500 donation. All gifts are meaningful and all will help support mental health in our community. I remember when I first started that so long ago, I think I must have given $25. That's all the money I could give. And in fact, because I was coming to counseling on a sliding scale, I should have just paid for the counseling. But anyway, I gave $25. And I kind of felt awkward about it, but it doesn't matter. Everything you do is important. And, you know, think about this. It's taking now 6 weeks to get an appointment at the center because we don't have enough counselors. And I happen to know that $80,000 would pay for a counselor for a year. So if anybody out there wants to jump in and give $80,000 separate from the money we're raising tonight, or you have a friend and you can each give $40, or you have a couple of friends, you can, whatever. If you want to do that tonight, Erin, would we take that?
We would absolutely take it.
that.
And don't forget that some companies will match your donation.
Yeah.
There's not a place in the online form to put to put that in, but just note it in the chat or contact us at the office when you get a chance, and we'll follow up on that. So let's go next to the $250 level, and we have a match here.
Another match.
That Christine Tracy, who's a former board member and former board president, has generally put forward this match tonight. Christine is amazing. She has been connected to the center for a really long time and is just a tremendous supporter. She is gifting $5,000 tonight, matching every gift of $250. So every gift of $250 will be matched up to $500 right now.
My
so that's great.
goodness.
Oh, and look, I recognize that name. So Cindy is Kim Beberich's mother-in-law. I think is it a mother-in-law? Yeah, I think so. That is awesome. We're really happy to have her give $500 tonight. Some other people who have given at the $250 level, so to count towards the match, Father Rick Paparini. He is a member of our board of directors.
Okay.
Jean Gale.
Yeah.
And Trudy Brennan, both who are faithful friends. They're
Oh, my
friends.
goodness,
They're
yes,
friends.
yes.
Beth King.
Yeah.
Maureen Jenkins.
Wow.
John and Jackie Holland have all given $250.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, and so has Ann Averin. She's one of our counselors, $250.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then I also want to recognize that we have people like Tim Berberich, who donated $25, like my donation. Janet Romano, who donated $100. Remember, every donation counts.
And Janice Romano used to be our accountant, so
Oh,
it's
my
so great.
goodness.
She's also a faithful friend, so this is an extra gift, which you can do. You can always give an extra gift. We're happy to take it.
Yes.
Some of the other people who have provided $250 are
Okay.
Barbara Nizich, Karen Nauserhaus, in honor of Christine Tracy, they're good friends.
Oh, yeah.
Mary Jo Tyler.
Yeah.
Jean Severance.
Oh, and my friends Gloria and Gary Josh. Yay, Glow and Gary. That's awesome.
Pam and Ryan Briscoe.
Yeah.
Pam is great. She does through workplace giving, so that is always something you can do. Larry and Janice Mossbrucker.
Okay.
Christy and Mark Ulrich. Cheryl and Vinnie Carboni. Cheryl is a board member.
Board member. Yep. Okay.
Father Chuck Leinart
Yeah.
and Allison Reed and Alex Sember. They have donated $250. So we need only 2 more $250 gifts to meet the match. So if you're out there,
Do it.
do it now, because we just need 2 more to get to that match.
And you know what? I just had this brilliant idea. If Barbara Bridge, who gave $100, and I, who gave $100, if we had talked to each other before, we could have each given $125. Together, that would have been $250. We got the match. So anybody out there
Well, we want
has a
people-
buddy?
We want people to give now.
Yes, yeah.
It looks like Nancy Fredericks has just called in. $300, one more, and we
Oh my
meet our
gosh.
match. One
This is
more.
awesome. Yeah.
We want to get that. We
Yeah.
want to get that match. And I want to talk a
Yeah.
little bit about our sliding scale, because
Okay.
obviously the sliding scale is why we are here. We cut our sliding scale down to $1 during the pandemic because of the tremendous need, and people were losing jobs and really struggling. And so some people are paying that $1 over time because
my
it's just too much to do all at once. But every little bit helps. And so that's why we're all doing what we're doing tonight, is for that sliding scale,
Right.
so that people who only have $1 to spend on counseling are still able to get very professional and
Yes.
necessary care.
And it makes them feel good that they're able to do something.
Yeah, yeah.
Even paying $1
Yeah.
is better than them feeling like they can't pay anything.
And actually, much like you, Anne-Louise, we have a number of people who have given, who are former clients who've given. Tia, who you heard tonight,
Yeah.
she gave a gift for this, as did Karen Taylor and her husband Mike, the client speaker. So
yeah.
we're just so happy to have those folks. So we are looking for one more gift to meet our match of $250. So this is the time to do it. Let's go ahead now and go to $100. That's our next level.
But no matching.
No matching at this
But
point.
$100.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see.
We got it.
Oh,
We got
Jackie
it.
Brown. Yay, we got our match.
Oh, I think we need confetti.
We need confetti.
We need confetti,
Yay!
confetti. Oh, yay, confetti. We love confetti.
Jackie Brown is a friend of mine. Thank you, Jackie,
Thank
for
you,
helping us
Jackie.
meet our match. And we'll still take
Yes, we will.
another $250 if you
will.
want to put that. Even though we've met our match, we're happy to have that. But let me call out a number of people who have also given tonight.
Okay.
Margaret Retz gave $200. She's
Yeah.
also a faithful friend.
Okay.
Rita Lambert gave $150. She's
Yeah.
a faithful friend as well. Ruth Julkowski, she gave $140.
Yeah.
Corey and Terry Joint gave $140. Corey is usually on this committee for the spring event, but couldn't be this year
Okay.
because things are so odd.
Yeah.
Marshall Carl is
Yeah.
one of our clients.
Yeah.
One of our staff members, not
Yes.
one of our clients. Actually, she was a client when she was just a tiny little thing in kindergarten, and now she has grown up. She went back to school, and now she's a counselor. So that just shows the full circle.
I love that.
That just shows the full circle.
Yes, yes.
Barbara Bridge. Oh, you know Barbara Bridge.
She's my friend. Anne Louise Sterry. I know Anne Louise Sterry.
And Frances
Yes.
Bjorquist
Yeah.
and Marcia Angelos have all given $100. That
Yeah.
is just great. Some of the other people we want to call out tonight are Kyle Eilenfeld. He used to be a board member.
Board member, yeah.
John Belknap.
Yeah.
Tony Lineweber.
Wow.
Helen and Steve Sharon.
Yeah.
Mary Weidel.
Yeah.
Penny and Brian McArdle.
Okay.
Paul and Rosemary Beaker. Natalie and Oz Osborne. Natalie used to be a former board member. She's
Oh, my
moved
gosh.
to the coast.
Okay.
And Shirley and Lark Price, Melissa and Eric Nelson,
Wow.
Carol Palmiado, Karen Cuen, Ken Berberick.
Yeah.
Berberick, that's Kim's father.
Okay.
Scott and Susan Lawrence, Charlotte Davies,
Oh.
Janice Stewart, Lori Parker. We're so grateful for all
I
of
know.
these people. It really
I know.
makes a huge difference.
Oh.
We are so appreciative of your giving tonight. We're getting close
we
to
are.
our, we're more than halfway to our goal of $50,000. And the thing is, you can keep giving after this event because we're not done with just tonight.
Oh, good. And what that shows us, that's not including the matches, is it? The 20.
I don't know if that's including the
I don't
match.
think that's
Kim,
including
is
the
that-
matches.
Yeah, she's put.
Oh, look, there you go. Look, it's going.
It's that little delay. So,
yeah. Oh, my
So
gosh.
like I said, the data,
Yeah.
sometimes there's a little delay. Oh, Julie Rowland just gave $150.
gosh.
She's a board member as well.
Oh, my goodness.
So
Oh, my goodness.
we are really grateful for everybody who's
Yes.
giving tonight. Please continue to give. Keep that love going for our clients. And we are so grateful for everyone who's coming here tonight. The one thing we wanted to promise, and I'm looking at the time here, which is important, you know, with Zoom, there's a lot of Zoom fatigue out there.
Oh, my goodness,
And
yes.
we knew that was going to be a challenge. It's a challenge for people to sit down in front of a screen once again and spend
It
more
is.
time on the
Yes,
screen.
it is.
So we made a promise to everyone who decided to come
Yeah.
tonight that we would end in less than an hour. And we're going to keep that.
Whoa,
we're
Erin.
I know, we're going to keep that up because we wanted to
Amazing.
give people a chance to give and a chance to learn something more about the center. But we also want to be respectful and
Yes.
help people because staring at a screen all day is challenging.
So now tell me, remind me again, how can people still donate after this event? And how would they know to donate?
Well, so you
That's
can
a question.
still do the things that are on the screen. Text the Growing Hope. What's the Growing Hope number?
Oh, but 54, no, 44, no, 44521.
44321.
I was close.
Text 44321. You can call the office at the number on the screen.
Okay.
Or at nwcounseling.org.
All right.
We have a place there where you click donate, and that comes up. So you can give. You can keep giving now. This our effort is going to extend.
Lisa
Cato
Cato
just
gave
gave
$350.
$350. Oh, and Barb Cates just gave $252. Barb Cates serves on our
our-
Circle of Strength
yes,
committee,
that's
which is
right.
which is our fall fundraiser.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for your support. We're so excited by what we're doing. Oh, there's the match.
Oh my gosh.
Now we're up to
We're almost there. We can do
$40,000.
it. So
we are making progress. You can still give
Right.
after the event is over
Right.
tonight. You just go to our website or call that phone number or text that number, and you can still give.
And how long will this sort of go? Oh, look, Jim Morby just donated.
Oh,
my
Jill
gosh.
Morby just gave. Thank you, Jill, so much. $100. That's great.
How long do we have? Like a week, 2 weeks to
Oh, yeah, till the end of May. May is Mental Health Month. So one of the things we wanted to
right.
do is let this extend to the end of May.
Okay,
I
good.
think we're going to make our $50,000
too.
goal, though,
I think.
by the end of May. I'm
We
really
are.
hopeful.
We are.
I'm really hopeful at this
and you
point.
and you people, you guys can share this with your friends. If your friends didn't know about it, if they didn't come, or if they forgot, share this with them so they remember that they can do this too. Because we have to. We just have to.
We have to.
Yeah, we have to.
So we are coming to the end of our event tonight. Like I said, we are
Yeah.
going to have people out of here under an
Yes.
hour. You can still go to those numbers
Yeah.
and call. It's been amazing tonight. Anne Louise, thank you so much for being a wonderful co-host. It's lovely to see you tonight. I want to give out a couple of big thank yous this evening. Kim Berberick is our development rock star.
Oh, yes.
She's over there. You can't see her. She's off stage.
Yeah.
Still pulling all the pieces to this event together. We couldn't have done it without her.
Carla Gonzalez.
Oh, Carla Gonzalez just gave $250. Thank you, Carla.
Okay.
She's a board member. Thank you, Carla. See, we can keep this momentum going,
I think we can. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I want to also, Kim's husband, Greg, is manning the phones tonight.
Yes.
So we really appreciate that. Tim at Matchlight Video shot our videos. And Ryan and everyone here at the AV department were fabulous in producing this streaming event. Thank you guys so much for your excellent work. It makes a huge difference. You know, and I really want to, of course, and I know you join me in this, Anne Louise, is thank Sister Sarah, Sister Barbara, and Sister Lisa for their vision and unwavering tenacity in creating a place where everyone can get mental health care regardless of their personal circumstances or ability to pay. You know, as a result of the generosity tonight, the money that we've been raising, so many people will get mental health care they so desperately need. We are so grateful for your partnership, all of you, for your partnership in this work tonight. It's just the beginning of May, Mental Health Month, so you can still do lots of things. There are lots of ways that you can support the mental health in our community. First, donate to a mental health care organization. Many of you have already done that, so we've got you covered. But you can continue to spread the love by creating your own virtual fundraiser for NCC. Check out our website at nwcounseling.org, Growing Hope Virtual, for more information. I see Corey Joy just put in an extra $100. Thank you, Corey. We miss seeing you.
And you know, the other thing, the virtual, when you do your own fundraiser, it's fabulous. That's one thing I just want to say. And then the other ways you can do it, you can volunteer your time like I'm doing. You're probably thinking that I'm getting paid like the big bucks to stand here and look gorgeous, but no, I'm getting paid nothing. They did not even have blue jelly beans, which I forgot to ask for. But anyway, you can volunteer at fabulous events like this. A shout out to Mary Tobin, Lisa Cato, and Vicki Carr, who were on this year's Growing Hope committee. NCC has other tasks throughout the year, which will be more and more available as folks continue to get vaccinated. Just email donate@nwcounseling.org and we'll get you connected.
Yeah, and Mary Tobin and Lisa Cato have been such great chat cheerleaders tonight. It's great to see your name in the chat. Thank you guys so much. And Christine is our chat cheerleader too. Yeah, I got to call out Christine Tracy. And thank you again, Christine, for that amazing match. Thank you to Tom and Marilyn Fink for their sponsorship and their match, and the Sisters of Providence who also supported this event. You know, the last way you can help is share your story, get the word out. And you know, as our therapist said earlier, a great way to support your friends and family and their mental health is by sharing with them how therapy helped you, like you did with your friends, to help them find therapy.
Oh my goodness, yes.
You can do this by having conversation with friends or family, or even by sharing words of encouragement on social media. We have on our website a toolkit with sample posts and graphics to get you started so that you can help other people find their way to mental health care. You know, as Tia mentioned, our client speaker, there is still a lot of stigma around mental health. And one of the reasons we are here tonight is to try and bring help to people and decrease stigma. That is the whole reason we are here tonight. That's the whole reason that you are all here with us tonight. And we could not be more grateful for your help and support. And Louise, thank you again.
And Erin, thank you, darling.
Of course. And thanks to all of you for being part of our Growing Hope tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Muchísimas gracias por todo.
Thank you. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your donation and your commitment to the Northwest Catholic Counseling Center.